So he talks about the first part of it is just cut off here, but he says, if you look in the Mishnah in Rosh Hashanah, it's talking about the different Rosh Hashanahs of the year. There's 4 Rosh Hashanahs, and one of them is, of course, for the Ilanot, which is Tu B'Shvat. It's a cutoff point in terms of Trubnis and Meiser, in terms of when the plant was actually rooted, to determine to which year the Meiser, Trubnis and Meiser belongs to. And some people make it as a certain seder. It's a very, it comes during the Shavavim period of time, as the light gets brighter and brighter towards Purim, eventually till Pesach. It's all one hemshech, and Tu B'Shvat comes in the middle of this because Tu B'Shvat is a lot more than simply a celebration of the fruits of Eretz Yisrael. That's very important, but the fruits of Eretz Yisrael are always symbolic of much more than that. As the Tikkun Zohar says, that the whole reason why Jews got a portion of Eretz Yisrael, and your specific portion, was because Eretz Yisrael is in the level of Torah Shabbal Peh. And getting your portion in Eretz Yisrael was also getting your portion in Torah Shabbal Peh. So the fruits, obviously, coming from the land are symbolic and indicative of the fruits of Torah and what we produce in the world to make the world a tikkun for the world. That's why, for example, the Gemara speaks about the Shiva's meaning. It mentions that each Gemara asks in Erevin why the Torah mentions these things, and the Gemara answers by saying that each thing is for the sake of a midah, some kind of measurement, right? To know the halachas of tumah, halachas of this, halachas that. Why? What's the connection? Because basically it's all about midas, as he does say in Evan Shlomo. We're here to be shover our midas, to break our bad traits, to perfect ourselves. It's all a function of midas. The spheres are called midas as well, like the 49 midas we do between Pesach and Shavuos, to do with the spheres themselves. It's all a question of midas and measurements, midah keneged midah, because that's what we're trying to rectify and fix up. So it mentions that there are 4 Rosh Hashanahs. One of them is Tu B'Shvat, but even though we sing that nice little song every single year, Tu B'Shvat Higia Chag Le'ilanot, right? The Mishnah does not use that language. The Mishnah says Le'ilan. Rosh Hashanah Le'ilan, to a tree, not trees. And, in the language of the Mishnah, that's not a problem, because very often the Torah will use the singular as a collective noun as well. So certainly, grammatically, it's perfectly fine in terms of the simple Pashat halacha. But in terms of a deeper pshat, the Pri Tzaddik, how appropriate, right, Pri Tzaddik himself, he explains the idea of the elan, the whole idea of the tree specifically, is talking about one specific tree. It's talking about the Eitzadas Tov Hara and the Eitzachai. As the Zohar points out, that all of history, of course, is a tikkun for the Eitzadas Tov Hara to become part of the Eitzachai. The Rizal brings down that the problem of eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil was not the eating itself, it was the timing of the eating. And Adam HaRishon waited until Shabbos, and he would have become, purified by Shabbos itself. Shabbos would have been the mikvah to purify Adam from the effects of the nachash and the Eitzadas Tov Hara. That would have caused a transformation in him and Chava and the rest of the world, for that matter, to not only make it possible to eat from the Eitzadas Tov Hara, but it would have become a mitzvah to eat from the Eitzadas Tov Hara, because Shabbos itself would have transformed the tree of knowledge of good and evil into the tree of life. So this concept actually is alluded to in the Chumash. The Chumash mentions there are 2 trees in the middle of the garden, right? So we take it to be, on a literal level, not lav dafka in the exact same spot, but close together. You can say that 3 people are right now in the middle of the city. We don't mean they're all standing on each other's shoulders right now. It just mean that they're close proximity, what's called the center of the city. So on a pshat level, we understand that both trees were somehow in the middle of the Garden of Eden, but the Zohar learns out that it means that literally both trees occupied the exact same spot. Both the tree of life, the tree of the Eitzadas Tov Hara, and the Eitzachai. How did that work? Because before the Chet, there was only one tree. There was only the Eitzachayim, and all the other trees were branches off the Eitzachayim. So the Eitzadas Tov Hara, which is one branch, and the Or Chaim explains that if Adam had eaten the Eitzachayim, just eaten from the bark itself, that would have given a taste of all the trees in the Garden of Eden simultaneously. What he did instead was he actually ate from the branch of the Eitz Das Tova Ra. That's what he ate from directly, as opposed to from the Eitz Chaim. And the result was to cause an hafrada from all the trees. So all the branches, in a sense, fell off the Eitz Chaim and became independent trees. Who created the Eitz Das Tova Ra? Not HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the potential for the Eitz Das Tova Ra. Who actually actualized the potential? That was Adam HaRishon by eating from the Eitz Das Tova Ra. He caused the separation, so eventually they became two independent trees. In the beginning, they were one tree, just like we said before, the other piece. But Achdus is the source of everything. So all Pi Kabbalah, it means basically if you trace the Eitz Das Tova Ra and the Eitz Chaim up into the upper levels, the upper realms, eventually they merge and become one and the same thing. On the upper levels is only the Eitz Chaim, and the Eitz Das Tova Ra is a branch, literally, that branches off, a light that branches off the Eitz Chaim to become an independent tree. But the result of Adam HaRishon eating from the Eitz Das Tova Ra was that he caused the separation. He actualized the potential of the. That's why it's called, by the way, Eitz Das, as opposed to Ilan. The real name for tree is an Ilan. Why is it called Eitz? Because it's a branch. A branch is called an Eitz. So in the beginning, it was just branches off the Eitz Chaim. He caused the separation. So therefore, history is about the reunification of the Eitz Das Tova Ra with the Eitz Chaim. So that's what he says. That's what the Pri Tzaddik wants to say. Not here, but the next page. Right, he wants to say that really that's what Tu B'Shvat's all about. That's what's going on all through life, all through history. But specifically, there is a unique opportunity on Tu B'Shvat to cause a unification of the Eitz Das Tova Ra with the Eitz Chaim, and that's why it's called Rosh Hashanah Le'ilan. He didn't actually eat from the tree, obviously, at that time. So it goes back to Tishrei. But the koyach, the light on the 15th of Shvat, this time of year, by focusing and using the opportunity of Tu B'Shvat the way it's meant to be used. So there's different approaches. There's actually a seder, just like the Haggadah. There's a seder that people you can actually download from. I saw it on the internet. You can download this if you want to. But there's a whole seder, many pages long, about what to do with Tu B'Shvat, what to focus on, what to think about. But the main idea that he's bringing down is that's what the mishnah alludes to when it says it's Rosh Hashanah Le'ilan. It's a way of saying it's Rosh Hashanah to the Eitz Das Tova Ra. It's a day on which we're able to meyachad, to combine, to bring together both of them as part of the tikkun for the world.